Hello, guys. Welcome. Behind the Bunker, our weekly paintball show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Todd Ansich. This is going to be an awesome show tonight, guys. We say that every week. This week, I kind of sort of mean it. We have Tim Montresor trailer for a documentary that's coming out shortly. We're going to be talking about all of the guys on the show. We watched the Jeremy Salm sniper incident over the weekend, so we want to chat about that. If you missed that, you definitely want to check that out. We're going to be talking about popular team names. We've got a segment from The Vault where Joe goes back and grabs some retro gear and shows you guys. We have Mail Time segment where you guys have sent in your questions. We have Prices Right, Antiques Roadshow, and a whole lot more. It just depends on, well, how much time we have. But tonight, it's not just me. I have Gavin Sharmer from TerraTech Industries.
Indeed, I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always great to see you both in the chat forum. And, well, I guess you're not in my living room, but thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and share button. Let everybody in the world know that tonight is Behind the Bunker. It's Monday night. Get the whole paintball community together because it's going to be a really great show.
So you want this to go worldwide?
Worldwide!
Worldwide! Then we have Joe Kimson from Flag Artist Paintball.
Greetings and thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight to beautiful Behind the Bunker. It's Monday night. I'm in the basement. I've taken over the Xbox land, so kids are displaced, unhappy. So let's get things moving.
So if you're not at least enjoying the show, be happy knowing that you're making several people unhappy by having Joe on the show tonight. So there you go. Then we have Josh Zuby Zabrickus.
Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. And as usual, please like and share. I don't know if my friend Gavin messaged or mentioned it or not, but it does make a huge difference. So we will be keeping track of who shares, and the rest of you who don't will get a shout out and a screw you at the end of the show.
We're watching you. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to get to on the show tonight. Shortly, we're going to show you the Tim Montresor documentary that Paintball Media did. And we haven't had an opportunity to watch the documentary, obviously, because it doesn't come out until January, February, March, April 4th, or April 20th, rather. 4/20 is the date that it's coming out. I should remember that. But we did watch a couple other things on their Patreon page, mainly the Jeremy Salm sniper incident, so we'll get to that in just a minute. And as I said, we had lots to get to on the show. We've got, actually, you can come over here to my computer, Matt. We have, what is the first paintball gun you ever shot? That's what we're talking about tonight, guys. Sorry, no one corrected me. I was waiting for Gavin to correct me on that.
We were talking about that before the show started, but you weren't there, so we didn't get there.
Okay. So we want to talk about that. The Jeremy Salm incident, there it is right there. So we'll get to that shortly. First of all, I want to say hello to everyone else that's joining in. Nice to see all of your names in the live chat. We are watching you guys in the live Facebook chat and YouTube chat, so if you want to say anything, by all means, we'll try to get a response to you guys. So without any further ado, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. So on my screen, coming April 20th, 21, feature documentary film by John Omoda and the Paintball Media. This is TM40, Tim Montresor, The Life to the Full. Let's check out the preview.
Once in a generation, if we're lucky, someone comes along and reminds us all why we love this game.
He was born in February. His name was Wang Yang Jiang, which means first flower. This is a confirmation copy of a telegram sent to you dated 7/13/1984, and it says, one child, Montresor, arriving Seattle July 16th.
He lived, ate, and breathed paintball. Everything, every move that he made from the time he was in high school was to create a career and a path that he could be successful in life, but also grow the sport he loved and always be entangled with the sport he loved.
Well, he came to us, I think, in high school and said, I really want to play paintball for a profession. I said, no. You've got to go to school. You've got to have something to fall back on. And he promises, yes, I'll get my degree. Okay, then you can go play paintball.
Never recognized he had such an impact. So, We're learning to try to celebrate that rather than cry about that we missed it, part of it.
He did live his life to the fullest. He lived in his short life more than most people live in 10 lives. And he's been everywhere, done everything. And, I think the thing about Tim is paintball really was his life. He went everywhere around the world. He met people. That's what he loved to do. And there were times where, he'd be gone 300 days a year traveling, and he might have, I think the one time he said I was home like 5 or 6 days in the whole year, which is just crazy.
All right, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. It wasn't going to be a wild and crazy, edge of your seat thriller preview, but if you've ever met Tim, this is going to be an interesting documentary. Not only did he shake up the lives of a lot of people in the industry, players and industry people. He's been everywhere. He has. I mean, I don't know anyone in paintball that either hasn't not necessarily met him, but heard about him. So it'll be an interesting one. I think everybody in the panel has met him at one point in time. He's been to our field. He's been to Extravaganza. He's been to World Cup. I think anytime we've ever traveled. Yeah.
A genuinely nice guy, too. Except for when Todd's not there and he's talking about him behind his back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Ridiculously generous with his time, his expertise, and just his personality. So he will definitely be deeply missed in the paintball community and the world in general. But I just want to highlight. I can't wait to see this. It's going to be a great tribute. But again, death doesn't end death just ends a life, not a relationship. And so I think as long as we continue to keep his name present and his memory alive, the relationship continues. So he'll be deeply missed by many people in the world, myself included.
Yeah. So this film premieres on Paintball Media's Patreon channel. That's on April 20th, 21. All current subscribers of that will get all current subscribers to their channel will get their names in the film's credits as an early supporter. So there you go. A good way to help support, get your name in the film. And anyone that subscribes to their channel between now and March 1st will also be listed in the film's credits as an early supporter, which is cool. The film runtime is 75 minutes, and it will be free to any of the Patreon members. And why you guys want to become a Patreon member of Paintball Media is there's all kinds of content on their Patreon site. All of us had an opportunity to jump on there over the weekend. We all got Patreon accounts, and because we wanted to support this. And not only did we watch this preview, we had an opportunity to watch the Jeremy Salm sniper incident. So, guys, if you're thinking of wanting to watch this, get yourself subscribed now. It's like $8. It's not anything crazy. And you're not going to the movies. You're not going anywhere else. What else are you spending your money on? So get yourself part of their Patreon account. Then you can watch other great stuff like the Jeremy Salm sniper incident. We had a chance to watch that this weekend. What did you guys think? Gavin, let's start with you.
So you know what? I thought I knew everything based on the publications of yesteryear, but this was thoroughly entertaining. So sorry, John. I went in with a little bit low expectations, thinking, okay, I already knew everything, but there was so much more meat and potatoes in this documentary. Not only did it cover the incident, but it covered everything sort of leading up and sort of the culture at the time as well. So I really enjoyed this thoroughly, and I would certainly highly recommend 1, 2. And another appendage up for this documentary. I really think it was so well. So I thought it was really well done, and I really suggest you treat yourself into seeing it, because I thought it was great. And
so for those of you, I didn't do a very good job. For those of you who don't know anything about what the sniper incident is, do any of you guys want to give a quick summation?
Yeah, I will. It was at, what was it at? World Cup 2002.
No, it was leading into World Cup, wasn't it? Was the event before World Cup? Because not to give anything away, but Avalanche ended up getting.
Well, anyway, the fields at the time were only covered in mesh on 3 sides. So the one open side was along a tree line. So I think they had just finished watching, some sort of sniper movie, and the plan was to go into the forest and snipe unsuspecting players from the tree line. Take 1 or 2 of them out, and they, it was a 10-man. I think it was a 10-man team. So if you took 1 or 2 out, you'd be down, 20%. That was the plan. But I think Jeremy, due to an incident the night before, was a little tired.
Hepped up on goofballs.
Hopped up on goofballs.
Yeah.
And the guys weren't calling themselves out. They were actually cheating when they were getting hit, but they couldn't figure out. So he overshot them, and someone figured it out, ran over the fence, tracked them down, brought them out, and sort of brought everything into the open. So that's it in a nutshell. But the movie itself was well done, and of course it had some history. It sort of went back to the some of the very, very first games of the survival game, and how people were cheating and things like that. So it was well done. And I did not have huge expectations, but I am.
Well, you're not a speedball guy per se.
I'm not a speedball guy per se, but I been around the industry long enough that you hear about it, and it was neat. You see some of these guys you haven't seen, like we talked about before the show. I haven't seen some of these guys for a year and a half because we've been locked down. And normally you see some of these guys a couple times a year, and you say hello and talk to them, and exchange pleasantries. So it was kind of neat. It's like you're visiting an old friend on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So,
hey, sorry, John.
John is in the chat. Yes, John Omadea is in the chat, and he was correcting you, Joseph. It was World Cup 2002.
I said World Cup 2002.
It was me that corrected him.
All right, and it was also 5-man as well. So,
yeah. And John now has a new jacket cover for the DVD. Besides everyone else's reviews, it's going to say Gavin Sharma 3 appendages up.
That's right.
He's quite happy with that one.
Without Cialis, baby. Without Cialis. So if you're looking to spice up the bedroom, watch this documentary as well.
Nice. Okay, so it's not just about the Jeremy Salm incident, although that is one of the focuses, but they tried to lead you down the path that it wasn't just like that wasn't the first time anyone's ever cheated. They gave many other examples.
But you also have to be really careful. We don't want to spoil anything.
And I'm not going to give any of that away. You definitely want to watch it. I mean, I'll talk cryptically to you guys to kind of maybe hopefully add something to it. But Lords of Discipline, not known for cheating, but yet something else happened and they got kicked out from an event, and it wasn't for cheating. That I didn't know. That was strange. I also didn't realize that people would get that much money for buying off teams.
Back in the day, that's a lot of money.
That was a lot of money. The Mike Bruno incident, that was pretty exciting. I had no idea. I thought that was just people saying that, but the fact that it actually happened was quite interesting. One thing I will say that John clarified for me, I always thought it was a Tippmann Model 98 that was used with a flat line. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe because people were calling him the sniper, all that sort of stuff. But they showed the gun that was actually used, and they told you what gun it was. And I'm not going to give it away because not that it was anything, but I understand how that all happened now. So that was kind of good.
Canadian-made, designed.
And Joe touched on one of the reasons why Jeremy did it. So I'm not going to get into that. But one thing I found interesting was there was a celebrity there at that event. Does anyone remember who?
Gibb?
Maurice Gibb. That's right. Yeah. Josh, you're not really a speedball guy, but did you kind of find it, not edge of your seat, but did you find it interesting?
I found it very interesting because throughout the years of going to different games and meeting different players, you hear little snippets and bits of, the sniper incident and what happened. And you hear rumors of this guy knows this and that guy knows that. And then you kind of work your way around. You never get the sort of full picture that's portrayed in the documentary. So it's nice to say, okay, here's the full circle from sort of everyone who was involved.
Yeah.
And you kind of, it collaborates and brings everything to, I guess a bit of closure is the right word. But, you know, the beginning part too, there's a lot more to it than just that incident. But it was, it's fun just to hear about all the history of paintball sort of leading up to that point.
Yeah. Somebody that I respect in the industry had made, and it's, you'll watch the video and you'll find out who, but when they're referring to speedball, now this isn't to them playing any other scenario games or anything like that, but when he was competing at a pro level, he didn't wipe, never. What he did instead was he would grab dirt and he would throw it on himself to cover the hits that he got. And, okay, you can say at home, okay, well, this is all cheating. The whole video is based upon or a story, a narration of all different types of cheating and who was caught and who wasn't. And, you know, it basically, I mean, let's face it, if you're being reffed by somebody, that ref is there because there's cheating happening. And that person admitted to that. And, you know, he's not far off. I mean, they talked about the whole gray area of the rules. And I don't know, that's a little out of the gray, I think, but I mean, you know, good for him.
I like how they just sort of make up the gray area. It's like we're gonna call this not cheating, but the gray area, and it's like, no, it's all cheating, dude.
Yeah,
it is.
You know,
yeah,
Josh, great point. It's like whatever helps you sleep at night. Right?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't cheating. I was in the gray.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You know, they're just justifying it, and then they justify the cheating getting worse and worse as it goes along.
Let's
they say, oh, you give an inch, and then you take a mile, right?
Yeah.
Let's just stop for a second and go back to the gray area. And I hashtagged it with both the Canadian and the American spelling so no one gets confused about what kind of gray area it is. But say you're playing on a Saturday afternoon and you're at one end of the field and the other team's at the other end, and you're with a bunch of newbies, and some guy takes a lob shot, flies over the buildings and lands on little Johnny's hopper or the person's folks' hopper, just like that, and it breaks. No one's even moved. The kid got hit. Like, so I call it making a ruling. So you wipe it off and go carry on. The kid goes,
that's not true. That's called an executive decision.
Yeah.
No way. You know what? I'm going to say hashtag Joe Gray Area. That is an absolute no-go. That's not how you grow the sport, Joseph.
But Joe's got a point with Joe's 50 Shades of Gray there. If you're playing recreational and there's renters on the field and the kids paid $50 to get there and play, and he got a lucky shot off the break, which is it's a one in a million kind of thing. That's one thing. Tournament paintball, where you're on the field with equal refs to players, if you're cheating, okay, that's fine. Like, I get it. If you choose to cheat in that genre, if you will, then so be it. But on a rental field or a scenario field game, anything like that, cheating's unacceptable, for sure, hands down. But yeah, there's definitely gray areas on the speedball field. I mean, Gavin, you've reffed.
There's no gray areas. You know the rules. You follow the rules. Damn it! It's like, okay.
No, there's.
I mean, you know what? I've been on the field. I've been in the stripes, and you know what? If you want to push a ref or a weak ref, then I get that. But don't expect the red flag not to fly. It's like, play the damn game. You're an ambassador to the sport. And I get the whole, want to be on the podium, right? And if you can get away with it, get away with it, I guess. But
if you get hit and it's on your pack and you don't know it's there and you go hang the flag and you get away with it, are you cheating? That's a gray area.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You can get hit.
Cheating.
Okay. I have something very important because I have something important to say. Just going to pause for a second. We can get back into the gray area and the cheating. Yeah. We got Mossy and we have Dwayne Nichols in the chat as well from Australia. It's Australia Day, so I want to say good day, mate, mates, and happy Australia Day. And that's all I wanted to say. I know you guys are watching. It's ridiculously early, and I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Bed yet.
I'm pretty sure you guys are still drinking the VB and enjoying not a barbecue because apparently it's a BBQ free. No, it's a fire ban because it's like 36 degrees Celsius. So,
why? What could happen if they have a fire open?
You know what? They've never experienced that before. Why you got to go there?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't mean to take the wind out of
And
your
while
sails.
we're talking about Australia Day, can we also say Happy Robbie Burns Day?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So, Robbie Burns, Australia Day, lots to celebrate. So,
And I know
sorry,
this is
Josh.
Josh also celebrates his culture Gray Day, where the
Gray
rules
Zone Day, yeah.
where the rules just aren't the rules.
Let me clarify something here. I've been officiating a long time. If anything is the gray zone is when there's an incident happens where there's no rule saying that it's legal or illegal. That's the only gray zone.
And I guess that's why, and I won't mention the person's name, but the athlete that threw dirt on himself technically wasn't wiping, so technically that is a gray area. So I get how he's debating that.
No, not really, because he was hit. He knew he was hit. He should have called himself out. What I'm saying is, like, the gray area would have been, say it was just a random person who did the sniper shot. Just shooting it and people were calling themselves out. I'd say that's a gray area because there's nothing in the rules that says what happens if somebody randomly starts shooting.
Kids went into the tree line and said, "Hey, let's go shoot these guys when they're playing
exactly."
paintball." So that's interesting.
That's a gray area. We talk about this in hockey. In hockey, there's something called an M99, which is a miscellaneous 99. Which means you can write up something that's not necessarily a penalty. I don't know if paintball has anything like it, but it's for those situations where something pops up that's never happened before.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the amount of respect I've lost for all of you.
Okay, but
You
listen
guys
to
are
you high and
justifying-
mighty. Listen to you high and
Yes.
mighty referees. If you
How
watch that
How
documentary,
the hell am I justifying anything?
but if you
Dear God,
listen to
I
that,
hate you all.
okay, but if you
I
watch
hate
the
you all.
documentary, like you guys should, if you haven't, if you watch the documentary, the refs had done a lot of their own mischievous things too. So you can't say.
This is a game of integrity.
Again,
Damn it,
you're
it's
justifying
it's
it.
2021.
Because the referees cheat, we have
It
to
was
cheat
2002.
too. That's not a gray area.
It's
That's
2021 now. For you guys to say, yeah, that's cool, endorse that, I spit on all of you.
People were using microphones.
Why are you
back
spitting on
then.
me? I'm not endorsing it.
Nextel, and you're bringing your Nextel phone.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, I may just be poking the bears tonight, but I'm enjoying it.
I'm logging out right now. Enjoy your evening, folks. The show
Kevin-
sucks.
But you haven't had
Kevin's
your
gonna take
segment
his
yet.
hopper and go home.
Oh, okay, I'll say around.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, watch the video, see what you guys think. Head on over to Paintball Media, go to their Patreon account. It's $8 for the month. It's not that bad. $8 is pretty easy, and you can watch a bunch of other stuff on there. You'll be able to watch the Tim Montresor documentary that we just saw a preview for. If you've missed it, if you're just tuning in now, you can scroll back to the first couple of minutes of the show. That's where you'll find it. But I mean, controversy definitely when it comes to cheating. It's well worth a watch. That's for sure. It's well worth the watch. And knowing that whole story, I mean, it's one of those folklore stories you hear around the paintball fields, as Josh says. At least we kind of know, and I kind of believe the truth because it wasn't just from one person's angle. It was from pretty much most of the guys on the team that's still around right now. And I didn't know Mr. Yu was on that team. He must have been a spring chicken at that point.
Fresh out of the Firefighter Academy.
Yeah. You know what I want to see after John's done this is maybe not to put more on his busy plate, but 5 years from now, I'd like him to re-interview a lot of the people that are there and say, "Would you like to change any part of your story?"
Now that you watched the documentary and someone else is throwing you under the bus, would you like to open up a more?
But like, how many people are going to watch that and go, "I can't believe that bastard said that," and then they're going to say something more and then something more. I want to see what this brings up 5 years from now.
Yeah.
But as somebody who was quite arrogant, thinking they knew everything based on the publications and the rumors that were going around, there was so much more that happened in this particular incident and the culture leading up to that. So somebody, you know what, it humbled me and I learned a lot. But not only that, it was really entertaining and educational. So, this is my full endorsement with the appendages to absolutely check it out because it's entertaining, it's educational, and it's a big part of our sports history. So make sure you do so.
One day I would love to have a show where I would only isolate speedball because, as I say, anything outside of speedball, it makes me sick if you hear of cheating stories. But I would like to. I have so many things that I've seen before, not necessarily my team, but I've seen other teams do that you could cheat in the sport. That's common knowledge that, you know, I've said to someone before and they're like, oh, I never even thought of that, right? But there's so many things out there that people have done, people have tried, people have got away with. Everything from cracking your barrel to, you know what I mean, putting different types of paint in your bore so you're using a small bore to crony, and then you've got a larger bore for later in the game. All kinds of goofy stuff. I would love to talk about that, but on the same token, I don't know if I really want to promote all those things.
Now, if someone gets a monthly subscription to Raytheon or the government, I guess you can't buy the government website, but anyway. Can they still watch the history of paintball on there as well, Todd?
That's a good question. John is in the chat right now. Maybe he can clarify that. I don't think it's on their Patreon page. I think it's just a documentary that you would...
What did I call it? Raytheon, Patreon, Raytheon, same thing.
That's okay. You know, paintball documentaries versus radar, military radar. I mean, it's close.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if it's in there and you can see it, you should certainly. It's worth $8 just to see the history of paintball.
It's worth $8 just to peek behind the curtain too. You know what I mean? See all the great stuff that's in their Patreon account for sure. Did I leave anything out, guys? Should we leave the sniper incident alone? I'd love to talk about it more, but I want people to see it.
Exactly.
I want to say one thing that I thought was kind of funny that I knew, but you kind of forget, is that at one point, professional paintball was still played in the woods.
Yeah.
This was
and they talk about fields, and they say, yeah, we were playing this field, and in the afternoon, we played on the airball field. So not only was professional paintball actually played in the woods, at one point or another, it was played on both fields during the same event.
Yeah. I'm not as old school as old school.
World Cup 2002 is the first event they used fully inflatables for the event as well.
And I like the inflatables, not because they're inflatable. I think if you're in the trees with twigs on this side and, you know, different levels of ground, I think there's an unfair advantage for one team every time where, you know, you look at football, hockey, basketball, the court's exactly the same on either side. Same with the speedball field, technically. So there's no way that you could say, oh, they got the castle or they got the berm, they got the, you know, the thicker grass or the whatever. I like the fact that it's a mirror and there's no real benefits of being on either side. John Amoda says the only film not in the Patreon channel is The Complete History of Paintball, but all other films will be in the Patreon account. So now is a good time to get in, guys, because much like Netflix, John and Netflix are tight. He releases new videos all the time. So you want to get a subscription now, and you can binge now until he releases new stuff. So Kyle Swanson says, I played in a tournament in Germany. There was woods ball and no blow-ups.
No
I bet you they had blow-ups in the evening.
Yeah, those Germans, they're big on blow-ups.
What are you talking about?
There goes all our German fans.
All right.
All two?
We just lost two. There we go. All right. Well, why don't we move on, ladies and gentlemen? To sum up what Josh says, go watch this movie. Yeah. Gavin with his 3 appendages up, and Joe with his 50 Shades of Grey rules. So go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Gray area.
I'd like to revisit this in a couple of months. Honestly, in a couple of months, when everyone has a chance to watch us, because I'd like to really fully dissect this without giving any spoilers away.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes,
I agree. Maybe we do that in the after show at some point as well.
Absolutely.
And then if you don't want it, then you can just la really loudly or just not tune in. Dan Hardy simply says, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch?" Maybe a little bit. Moving on here, ladies and gentlemen, a couple things I want to get to. This is, where did I put it? Oh, no. Here it is. some custom stuff. This was sent in from our friend Joe. And Joe, I'm not even going to say your last name because I'm going to butcher it. Maybe, Joe, you know his last name. Joe's... You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, we don't. Say it.
I do.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher his name. Anyways, while we're figuring that out, ladies and gentlemen, here you go. Here is his Retro 7-back from Skin Deep Anodizing. He says his only instructions was that he wanted the number 7 on the side of it, and he wanted colors inspired by classic old race cars.
Nice.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't
that is
it?
Sexy, yeah.
Yeah.
That is really nice.
I feel so bad. I gotta.
You can pronounce Vicky
SZILVAGYI. I've known him
Mr.
for
Vicky.
years, and yeah, Mr. Vicky, I guess. I apologize, Joe. There you go. Mr. Vicky says Lisa Weaver. Good for you. And say whether Roger knows him as Mr. Vic. Good for you guys.
Perfect.
All right. So I wanted to show you guys that. You guys, we were talking about, this is kind of later in the show. Last week we were talking about Caesars. I wanted to show you guys a spread that I had. This was a couple Christmases ago. Josh, I think I shared this picture with you, but that was my Caesar bar.
Yeah, you shared it to me without inviting me to Christmas. So.
Yeah. Joe and I enjoyed this a couple years ago.
It was pretty good.
And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Every week after the live Facebook show, we continue to broadcast on YouTube and record for our after show /podcast. And why I'm telling you that is last week we talked about what everybody's hair products were back when we actually had hair in the 80s. And I want to share this picture with you. This is Joe not that long ago when he had hair still. So a lot of you guys were asking, what did Joe look like with hair? There you go.
With Vidal Sassoon.
There we go. Look how his wind swept. That was definitely an east wind that day.
Yeah, I had to go back 3 years for that picture, guys.
So we teased on it last week, and I know this. I'm doing quite a side right now because I saw your Caesar bar, but the jersey that I'm wearing today.
Look at you.
Murphy's Law Moonshine in Elmira, Ontario, has the greatest moonshine in the damn world.
You just pissed off some North Carolinians.
Yes. Peppershine is our go-to for Caesars. So wearing it tonight. Love the guy. Love moonshine from Elmira. So if you are in Canada, you can definitely get it ordered. So look up Murphy's Law Distillery on Facebook. And if you're in the States, I don't think it can ship across the border, but damn, you're missing out. Yeah. Tasty.
They have a couple things at the LCBO, but they don't have their full. Where did I go? They don't have their full. They don't have
menu?
their full
line
menu, I guess. Yeah. Line at the liquor store. But they have a few items, but you can go to their retail outlet, like Gavin said, and pick up a wide variety of tasty treats.
I want to build on what Gavin was saying and why we're talking about Caesars. Gavin's talking about the pepper shine.
Yes, sir.
It's hot and spicy. Like it's got actual pepper flakes floating, or I don't know what it is, like pepper essence or something.
Crystal meth.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
probably what it is. But it's floating around inside. It kind of settles down. You got to shake it before you drink it. It's absolutely amazing. It is hot and spicy. Like it's it's wonderful. That's what we mean by pepper shine.
So that's why I'm saying it right now, because I'm definitely looking for a personal sponsorship. So I'm there like every weekend. So somebody tag Murphy's Law Distillery.
If you look closely on Gavin's camera frame, you can actually see his liver quiver when he says, "I'm looking for a sponsorship."
Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt the show, but I had to squeeze that out after I saw your Caesar bar, right? Yeah. So because it works great for Caesars.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Save the date, 2021 Mission Masters scenario games. Make sure you guys write those down on your calendar and check them out. World at War Crimson Dawn, presented by Behind the Bunker and Joe Kimson, April 9th to 11th. Make sure you guys check that out. And that is in Frenchlick. Post Cowlick. Brandon B. Rod Page. Make sure you guys sign up for the red team for the Sherwood Forest game on June 25th to 27th in LaPorte, Indiana. New one coming down the pipeline, Lake Norman Paintball, Airsoft, and axe throwing. This is happening on February the 13th, Love versus War. Make sure you guys get signed up for that. Go to their website and check out them for more information. Alien versus Predators, April 24th to 25th. Total Carnage. If you want partial carnage, don't bother going. All right, ladies and gentlemen. A couple things I want to talk to you about. But before we do that, we're going to get to... we'll talk about that. Then we'll get to a vault segment by Joe. Joe has a vault segment coming up. Then we're going to get into some mail time and maybe some Prices Right if there's time tonight. But the show's starting to get late. So here's what we're going to do. Can I tell you about this? Planet Eclipse, guys. Did you know that they have more championships, new mechanical markers, new electronic markers, new territory, including their new MagFed division? Get Planet Eclipse, ladies and gentlemen, and take on the world. Now with the new CS2 mech frame kit. That's right, the new CS2 mech frame kit.
When the world's greatest players, photographers, and expected parents need the best coverage, most vivid colors, biggest selection, they pull a tap on an EG product. Hashtag Pop Smoke.
Thick welded seam, stainless steel hardware, multiple color options make Air Ups the number one choice for inflatables on and off the field. Made in America by Brett Davis and his crew, airups.com.
Dreams fade. Ruthless Paintball products, colors, sublimation, and craftsmanship never die. On or off the field, Ruthless keeps you fresh. Use the promo code BTB15 for 15% off your order.
Adapt, create, and win. Exalt is in our blood. In fact, it is our blood type. Make your game boil. Get Exalt, available worldwide.
From the beginning, you stumble down a rocky cliff or waded chest deep through a mosquito-infested bog. Now, whether you're sliding in a snake or running and gunning, GI Sports has the gear for you now at the Stormer, Stormer Elite, and Stormer Tactical.
DLX Technologies, guys. True innovators. With some of the lightest, fastest, and sleekest hardware in paintball, DLX has the power to get to the podium. How about you? But that's where I want to be. So check them out at your local shop today. One thing I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen, I left something very important out here. The Crimson Dawn game that Joe's a part of. Make sure you guys sign up and play for Ryan McGee. Yeah, he's one of the generals. Or the genitals, depending on how you read his typing. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, sorry, Ryan. I did not put those two together tonight. I apologize. So why don't we check this out, guys? Every week, Joe goes into his vault, grabs an old piece of equipment, and makes it new again by showing you guys. So check it out, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Joe from Flaggers Paintball here with another segment of From the Vault, where we go back in history, back in time, back into the early days of paintball to look at something from my vault. Today we have my SL68-2. This is made by Tippmann Pneumatics in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Plastic or a polymer pump. It's got a standard aluminum barrel, and the whole body is cast. It's not like today's castings that are machined and made to look pretty. This is pretty crude. This is kind of like a cast iron frying pan. Could you use it for a hammer? Maybe. But sort of what's neat about the SL2 or the SL68 is it had an internal gas line. When so many guns were going to, macro line and bottom lines, this had an internal airline. So it's kind of really ahead of its time. It's semi-automatic, hopper adapter, built-in safety, ASA built right in. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, guys and girls, thanks for watching. This is From the Vault. See you next time. Pew pew.
One.
Awesome. Well, that was my SL2 pump gun. It was kind of neat. I grabbed that and I thought, this is pretty cool. So many companies have been trying to go to the internal gas line, and these guys had it back. I don't even know when that came out. Also, the velocity adjust was on the side of the bolt. To adjust the velocity on the SL2, you put an Allen key into the side of the bolt. So that was pretty neat.
Ryan McGee says, "Oh my God, flashback to his first paintball game, Joe."
I know, it's pretty. It had some good memories holding that thing, but it was crude, and that's one of those you wouldn't want to be playing with one of those in cold weather, man. You'd freeze. You certainly wouldn't want to lick it with your tongue in cold weather. Ding, ding, ding. But
that's
anyway,
like a country song title, though.
But
You wouldn't want to lick it with your tongue, but what else would you lick with it?
I don't know, Gavin. I'm not sure.
Right.
But also the where the hopper went in, the feed neck is very small. Definitely designed for a WGP ammo box. You probably wouldn't get a regular sized hopper in there because the tolerances aren't there. So it definitely a first generation high production model. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Chase Traffic Morris is already bidding $250, Bob. By the way, Chase, and I'll answer everyone else in the live chat, I do have patches left. If you guys want Behind the Bunker patches, we have them available. They're $10, and wherever you are, you'll have to pay for shipping because I don't like. In Canada, it's a little bit cheaper. In States, it's a package, and then if it's in Europe, it's like a big package. So yeah, hit me up. Message us through any of our things. Speaking of big package, Devin Schwartz called your SL98 a classic, but spelled it with a K. Chris in the chat says, just reminded me that I need a pump. Everybody needs a pump in their arsenal. Absolutely. Gail Sterling in the chat says, good show. Looking forward to the full-length TM40 documentary. Well, thank you very much for watching, Gail. I appreciate it.
Nice.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. If you're new to the show, we're going to play a little game called Price is Right. Our rules are very similar, almost exact as Price is Right. We're going to show you items that were listed on eBay and sold eBay US under US dollars is what you're bidding on. We want to know if you guys can guess what it actually sold for, and you're going to play along with the cast members here because they don't know. I'm the only one that knows because I have the paper in front of me. So first up for bid, and you guys can post up in the live chat, and we'll try to get your answers on the live chat. Vintage olive dye boomstick barrel case. Ooh. So here's the outside. Here be the inside, and then for good measure, there's a zipper. But it has the old school dye logo on it, and much like every clear paintball mask, it is now deteriorated like someone had been smoking.
Just the case, though, right?
Just the case. Do you see anything inside, Gavin? You trying to push my buttons?
It could be an invisible barrel system.
Yeah. Well,
it is eBay.
Clear masks are the rage. Maybe clear barrels, too. Maybe we'll go back to
Tommy Guns thought we dropped a bar of dye soap in the shower. Or he was hoping. I'm not sure.
David Reed on YouTube says $68.74. David Reed also wants to know if it's 250 cal compatible. I'm going to say no. $80 says Regnick, 1133. And then we have James Taylor, or Taylor James, says $39.99. Bob Spisser, nice to see you up late tonight, sir. Past your bedtime, $35 US. Roger Weaver, $20. What is well, Gavin, you won last time, so what are you going to bid on this?
So I'm going $40 even, Bob.
$5 more than George. Hey. Elliot Darno says $69. Bill Scribner, $29.99. Next would be Joe. Joe, what are you building on this?
What did Gavin say? 40?
Yes.
I'm gonna say 32.
32. Josh, what are you thinking? Chase Traffic is bidding a little bit higher. He says $450.
I just want to make a slight correction to what you said earlier. Todd, you said 250 cal. You don't think it'll fit. That's wrong. Anything fits 250 cal if your velocity is high enough.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Devin. Yep.
For this absolute gem, I'm going to go ahead and say $55.
Very good. Devin Schwartz says $1. Yawn. Nothing to see here. Let's see. This sold for $44.99.
That's all me, baby.
Yeah, I think it was.
Wow.
Traditional Gavin is winning. Let's see here. All right, let's throw one into you. This one here, VL Quantum. Clear.
That paddle is sexy.
The clear is so that you can see how much paint is in your hopper, but the downside is it's clear and that the opponents can see how much paint is in your hopper.
Well, that's why clear barrels never took off, right? Because you can see somebody shooting. So
yes.
You know to get out of the way.
And with the cattail agitation inside, you get 9 tries to make it work, and then you just throw it away. There you go. So, Gavin, what do you think? Roger Weber says $5. David Reed says 13. And Bobby Doust says 25 bones.
I'm going $15, Bob.
Okay. Mike Grizzly Grub, 45.
Hey.
I'm afraid of Mike Grizzly Grub. That name frightens and scares me. Josh, Joe, what are you thinking?
18.
$18. Wow. Josh?
I'm going to say 22 because I would probably actually use that.
Okay. Tracy Santos, she's a girl, says $22. Bill Scribner, $7.99. Chase Traffic Morris with $12. Bob Spicer, $27.56. And this sold for $19.99. Wow. Someone got more than I thought they would get for it. That makes Joe at 18, right?
No, that was me.
Yeah, Gavin got it. 18.
Congratulations, Gavin.
Oh.
I think the real winner is Roger Weber in the chat there. He says, I have one, new in package.
Really?
Nobody would buy it, so.
Allegedly.
Well, you can make yourself a cool $18 if you put it on eBay. All right, here's something else I want to show you guys. This I've never seen before. It's a Planet Eclipse EMEC timer. And the Planet Eclipse guys are going to have to watch this closely. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a close-up of it. There we go. So someone has 3D printed an attachment for what looks like your local egg timer. So you don't get the gun. You just get the 3D mount that's super glued to the egg timer. Has a start and a stop.
Definitely 3D printed.
Boasts both minutes and seconds with a upgraded reset button. What are you guys thinking? Mike, George Hay and Dan Hardy says $9.95. Yeah, who got that last time? Gavin again?
That was me. Yeah.
Why don't we just give up? Like Gavin with his new mic.
You should.
We could all just pack up and go home, but we're already there, so there's really no point. We just have to endure this.
So as you guys watch me win again, I'm going to bid $20 even on this.
Ooh. Joe, what are you thinking?
Since Gavin took my number, I'm going to say 14.
All right, Josh, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with the flow in the chat there and say $9.95.
$9.95. Well, Kyle Swanson says he was looking for one of these last week. No clue why. Maybe he was the gentleman who purchased it. Billy Keat says $5. Regnick in the live chat says, simply bring back the ViewLoader talking timer. This sold for $30. $30.
Wow.
Yeah. Who got that one?
Gavin.
Oh my God. Has anyone gotten on the board tonight?
How could you?
Okay. One last one. We'll get an opportunity. This is for you guys to get on the board tonight. This is right up Josh's alley because he's into Venomware. 3 rare Sandana keychains.
Ooh, keychain.
So basically they got a crappy headband that fell apart and they decided to make some keychains. Yeah. But I'm not going to throw you either way. But remember, this is that Sandana wear. So it could either go for $6 or it could go for $600. Who knows?
Are those what kind of rings? Are they stainless steel, titanium, tungsten? What are they?
They are brushed stainless. Brushed stainless. Because I asked the same question, sent them an email before I lost out on the bid.
Were they sewn by hand?
They look like it. In the dark, actually, I believe is where they were sewn.
By someone wearing boxing gloves.
Axe Plus Cash says Kevin. $60 says David. $20 says Devin Schwartz. Billy Keats at $150. Chase Traffic says $160. Now remember, guys, you're getting all 3. And with that, George Hay says $12.95. As well as Kyle Swanson, Bob Spicer, $235. Is he wrong?
Gavin,
or is he close?
I'm going $15.
$15. Joe?
21.
21. Josh?
25.
25. I think Josh gets it. This sold for $84.
Shut the front door.
So if you sell at $84, that is what, like $28 a keychain?
That is
You better
Okay.
hope you have some foolish friends to sell the other two to.
I am bowing down to the marketing genius of that. Crap.
No
Holy-
kidding. Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
if you guys are watching right now, if you're watching us on Facebook, please, please, please hit that share button. Share it to any of the paintball groups you belong to. Hit that like button as well. We've been watching you guys comment tonight, and we do appreciate you guys watching. But we're also, on that note, we're probably going to say goodbye to you guys. And unfortunately, I know we didn't get to tonight's topic. Gavin was supposed to remind us, but we didn't get there. So we'll get to that next week. And you guys will be able to chime in at that point. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell or whatever you do on YouTube. I apologize. But what's going to happen is we're going to say goodbye to our friends on Facebook right now. We're going to continue to broadcast on our YouTube channel. You can find us at behindthebunker.com and follow the YouTube link, or you can go to YouTube and find us. Or you can download us as a podcast. This entire show, including the podcast extra, gets uploaded every Monday night by midnight. And you can have it on your phone the next day and be listening to it at work or school or wherever you are instead of doing whatever mundane thing you're doing. So definitely check that out. Guys, do we have any other farewell words to the guys watching on Facebook right now?
No.
I said farewell, Facebook friends, until we meet again.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. We'll see you everybody next week.
Absolutely appreciate everybody who tuned in on Facebooks. Make sure you hit that like and share button so everybody has seen what happened this evening. And slide over to the YouTube side, and you'll enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah. I do
Thank you to all 55 people who shared. The rest of you, pick it up, man. Seriously.
Sort yourselves out. And Bob
Jeez.
Spicer is going to get the last comment on Facebook tonight. He says, you guys are just like the contractor. Next week. We'll get to it next week. Yes, sir. So thank you guys for watching us on Facebook. Head on over to YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, stay there. We're going to be right back.
Audio Jungle.
Grizzly and Gramps.
All right.
Yeah,
So
Gramps,
we
yeah.
are back. And what is Grizzly and Gramps?
One of the pioneer, basically,
Aftermarket accessory. I
Exactly.
can tell you a little tale.
I want to
Back
give him some
in the-
love. So let's,
yeah,
That picture, are we talking about it now?
Mm-hmm.
indeed, yeah.
You know the picture that I use.
Depends on how you
occasion
perceive
that
time.
that has myself and Steve Amos and Tom Kefalis at the original field, standing up on the table. Our faces all are cammed up. We all have our Mark I Uzis. You know which one I mean.
Yep.
That picture. Anyway, Tom Kefalis, if you look at his Mark I Uzi, he has a remote line to it. So back in the day, this is before, or Action Pursuit games may have been out by then, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he got wind of this Gramps and Grizzly fellow, or characters, that did aftermarket stuff in California. So somehow he got in touch with him. Don't forget, there was no internet and there was no way to get in touch with him. So he sent a money order to them, and he got them to send him up a constant air setup. So he had they sent him up I think a 10-ounce tank that had a thermo valve on, plus a remote line and an adapter to go into his Mark I Uzi. So he had the first constant air setup in Canada.
Wow.
And
Nice.
he was able to get
People
it
must have been
filled.
freaked out by that, though.
It's pretty
Absolutely.
crazy. Like, we're all using 12 grams, and we're still using Mark I Uzis. And people were still wearing those Norton 180 safety glasses. I had a pair of squash goggles I wore because they gave slightly more protection. But
Well, it
he
didn't
had the
mess up your
first-
hair.
It didn't. And I had hair. We camouflaged our faces up with cam stick, and it was crazy. But he had a Mr. Submarine, and he was able, because they had a contract with Coke, he was able to take this CO2 cylinder to the Coke place and get them to fill it up. Like, this is like
Wow.
way before anything, like, before chronographs, but like, people were still using 12 grams and would be using 12 grams for quite some time, because really some of the first guns that came out with constant air were like your Tippmann SMGs and your Brass Eagle Nightmare, Elephant guns and stuff like that. They were some of the first guns to have constant air. So this was this was really ahead of its time.
Well, where did we see that? Was it in the paintball documentary where they talked about when the guys came up with constant air, how nobody wanted to touch it because they were so afraid of it? That was what I thought when you went from 12 gram to CO2. People must have lost their mind.
So he's actually in the YouTube chat right now. And
he is.
It was Gramps and Grizzly. And yes, all of that was in the documentary. And most of us are fanboying right now because we've been around for a while. So I'm really appreciative that you're in the chat and you're interacting with us and watching the show. So
very cool.
Thank you for your contribution to the sport of paintball. We definitely have to get you on the show at some point to talk about your experience in the sport as well.
Yeah.
Really cool, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for checking us out rather. And I want to say nice to see Haggis Reaper in the live YouTube chat with Bit being Robbie Burns tonight. I did not get my haggis, so at least there's kind of my way that I did get my haggis. Haggis.
It's pronounced haggis.
Yes.
I'm good with just pronouncing it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, if anyone, So he says, anytime, guys. Thank you, Mike. Don't go anywhere, but thank you for watching the show tonight. Last week we went off on a hell of a tangent talking about our hair products, and I had
never happens.
I had a blast. Gavin, you also told me last week, you gave me 2 suggestions on things to watch. You said Operation Odessa, and Man in the High Castle. I checked out both as far as previews. Decided to go through. Yeah, so I went.
I said High Castle. I can't endorse.
I said Odessa.
Okay. So the Odessa was I chose to watch first. It was awesome. I really liked that. I thought it was an interesting watch.
But it's messed up to know that when you're watching, it's a true story.
Well, the fact that I'm not going to. Well, it's in the preview anyways. But I mean, the fact that they bought helicopters and had a sub, they just didn't follow through.
Helicopters, not just helicopters.
Yeah. Well, I like they asked
military helicopters.
I like how they asked the drug lord. Yes, we can get you a sub, but there's a problem. Do you want it with warheads or without warheads?
You want missile or no missile?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I chose that, but the Man in the High Castle, I watched the trailer. It looked a little much. Is it worth it? Because the trailer didn't really.
The trailer doesn't really do it much justice. Like, yes, it's part of it, but there's so much more to the actual show.
Okay, but for me, I'm not sold anymore.
No. Oh, no.
It's getting weird, so...
Is it?
It gets a little strange.
Odessa?
It gets a little strange, and then it gets better, Gavin. It kind of picks up, and it
Matt's
goes.
texting frantically that it does get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it Operation Odessa?
Yes. So that I did watch, and I would have to say I would endorse that more than I would Man in High Castle, because I quite enjoyed all of it. You
can see how he got how everyone liked him. I was halfway through the movie and I liked him too. You know, the big burly Russian fellow. He's just a nice character, like a lovable character.
Big huggable bear.
So then I heard today someone was talking about another movie, and it's an old one called Cloud Atlas. Any of you guys catch Cloud Atlas?
I don't want to do any of that.
Bell.
I don't want to do any of that fantasy crap, all right?
Okay, well, I watched the trailer to that, and it actually looked kind of neat, right? Tom Hanks is in it, so it can't be that bad. I mean, something obviously will come up and bit him, but I don't know. I don't know. Those are my two go-tos right now.
Okay, this is what we're doing with the after show right now.
But
apparently, Gavin.
So
we're talking about what's going to be great for Todd to watch.
No, I'm saying, Joe. What was that you're watching, Joe?
I started watching Outside the Wire. I'm halfway through it. It's sort of futuristic-y sci-fi, so it's pushing my boundaries of what I like to watch. But I just finished Yellowstone, man. That was awesome.
Did you watch the T-34 movie?